Hey folks, just doing some micro scrapping and thought I'd show you a good source of copper. This ball of copper here came out of one of these switches, and these were for a drink machine, I believe. And how they work is you can see the switch inside on the left here, right here, and this is a steel piece that is magnetic, so when there's electricity applied to the coil, this is copper here, all this is applied to the copper, then the switch will go up or down, I forget which now, and will shut the water flow or the liquid flow into the system. So anyway, you can get these on drink machines or anything that has liquid basically flowing through it that you need to stop and start it, including washers. There's two larger ones in washers, so you can access them. Usually a red and a blue for hot and cold. So you might want to check them out. And basically they're easy to remove. This one I've just loosened the nut right here, and it just lifts off. I'm trying to do this with one hand to show you. Of course it's a little more difficult, but it just lifts off like that. And then the coil should pop out pretty easy right there. Alright, so then you're left with this, which is a coil of solid copper, just covered by some, basically it's electrical tape, or some cases it's a plastic sheathing and on a plastic spool. So what I'm going to do is remove this plastic here by slicing, or the tape rather, by slicing right across through it, and then we'll peel it right off. And I'll do that right away. As you can see, I've sliced through and I'm peeling back the tape. And if you slice a little too deep, what happens is you get a little bit of the wire coming off with the tape, but usually not that much to worry about. So we'll continue peeling off the rest. So I've peeled off the rest. You can see it there, that's the tape that's come off. And here's a little bit that was stuck to the tape. It peeled off easily, so if you really want to save it, you're welcome to save that. And then what we're going to do to this is peel back this top portion of the plastic. And what we're going to do is take a pair of pliers and peel it back into a triangle. And I'll show you that in a moment. So I've peeled it back somewhat, and you'll see it peeled back there. And the reason I say peel it back in a triangle is because you'll end up with stray pieces left at the top, and what we want to do is make sure that there's no pieces left around the outside edge. So I'll show you the second pull. So you can see the bent up edge where I took the pliers and just yanked it backwards and over top, and what we're going to do is do that with this edge as well. So we're pulling it up in 3 different places, and that will assure that you won't have any shards of plastic still left around the outside edge, and that's important. I'll show you in a second why. Okay, we've pulled the top piece off cleanly. And the reason you don't want those pieces sticking out on the outside edge is so that this whole coil will come off without getting stuck. Sometimes they will literally slide right off and enable you to just scrap it that way. Some cases, like this one, it's wound really tight, so we're going to have to pull it all off like I'm doing here. A little hard to do with one hand, but can still do it with one hand. Well, I'll show you with two in a moment here. There we go. Whoops. No, that's not working. Okay. So there's one, and it will pull off like that. So if you're using two hands, you're obviously going to be able to get everything off very quickly and easily. And I'll show you once. I'll shut the camera off and show you how to do that properly, or show you what results after doing that. So this is what you get after pulling the copper off. Just this nice stream of clean copper. So just ball it up, throw it in with your copper. That simple. So we ended up with, for those 6 switches, ended up with 4.9 ounces, and that's 0.30625 pounds. So you can decide whether it's worth your time to create clean copper from those switches or not. If you're not doing anything sitting in front of the TV, I would suggest to you that yeah, it's probably well worth just stripping those and saving them up and stripping them in one sitting watching a movie or something. But yeah, 4.9 ounces clean copper. There you go. Happy scrapping, folks.